Happy Monday. It's November 6th, 1 Corinthians 15, 42 to 44. Long passage. Difficult to memorize. Let's just know it. So it is with the resurrection of the dead. Sown in corruption, raised in incorruption. Sown in dishonor, raised in glory. Sown in weakness, raised in power. Sown a natural body, raised a spiritual body. If there is a natural body, there is also a spiritual body. Some verses are easy. Some verses are really good for us to memorize. Well, I'm just going to say this pretty bluntly. This is probably not one of them. If you want to memorize it, great. If you're good at memorization, this has got one of those little kind of back and forth sort of little lyrical kind of things to it. So it's going to be tough for a lot of people to memorize this verse. But this is a good passage for us to just know, to acknowledge, to recognize. You see, and as a matter of fact, as I was looking down the list of verses that Wayne Grudem gave us that were good verses to memorize, I have to admit I tried to avoid this one. But to be honest, I want to know it's there. I want to know that this verse, and it is a part of God's Word, and it's here for us to know and understand. You see, Paul writes of the resurrection. I take 1 Corinthians 15 a lot of times and read portions of it at graveside sort of memorials and celebrations, you see, because the resurrection is our hope. The resurrection is a promise of God. It's the center of our Easter celebration, and Paul actually says it's the center of our faith. You see, Jesus was the first to rise, and we are promised that we will rise like Jesus. Paul says earlier in chapter 15, if there is no resurrection, then our faith is useless faith. If there's no resurrection, then our preaching is useless preaching. So this is a great verse for us to read, to sort of hide in our hearts, just to know it's there. So it is with the resurrection of the dead. Sown in corruption, raised in incorruption. Sown in dishonor, raised in glory. Sown in weakness, raised in power. Sown a natural body, raised a spiritual body. If there's this natural body, there is also a spiritual body. We'll take a good look at this week. See you tomorrow.